All right, it's the Rundown Monday, March 21st, brought to you by Truly Hard Seltzer. Truly Hard Seltzer is a clean, crisp, and refreshing hard seltzer with a hint of fruit. These are, I think these are the new flavors. I haven't seen these, but the margarita style is delicious. I had the other day on the Rundown, I had this, the watermelon cucumber margarita style.
Strawberry hibiscus.
Maybe one of the best alcoholic drinks I've ever had, truly. Just like unbelievably delicious. It's crafted with a simple, truly, I didn't even do that on purpose, but crafted with simple, naturally gluten-free ingredients and contains alcohol made from cane sugar, from classics like wild berry and black cherry to new twists like passion fruit and citrus squeeze, and like I said, the watermelon cucumber one you have to try. There's over 27 flavors, so there's something for everyone. They've also got lemonade, iced tea, punch, and extra hard seltzer with 8% alcohol per volume. All cans have under 110 calories, which means plenty of refreshing flavors that won't weigh you down, and every Truly contains only 1 gram of sugar. Do it for the flavor. Truly Hard Seltzer. You can find Truly Hard Seltzer near you at www.trulyhardseltzer.com.
Starting to get that spring weather now, pool season. Truly sounds like it'd be a
pretty good
fit.
I was drinking outside, St. Patrick's Day, and what better than a Truly? Nice, makes you feel warm. All right, let's start off with March Madness. 4 days of just balls to the wall, college basketball, nonstop. Good, I'd say like a good set of 4 games. I feel like last year's March Madness, I feel like left a lot to be desired, if I remember correctly. This year, not amazing, but just solid 4 days of college.
Yeah, we didn't. I think this year again. Last year we got some buzzer beaters towards the end. This year, not the buzzer beaters, but like tons of upsets.
Right.
A lot of really good, like awesome games. Obviously, St. Peter's, crazy story.
St. Peter's probably the story of the tournament.
Have to be. I mean,
third
15
seed to the Sweet 16, second year in a row. Oral Roberts now St. Peter's take down Kentucky, and they really. I've walked by St. Peter's, like it's kind of by Marty's apartment. It looks like a junior high school.
Yeah, I've been there a few times too. It literally. So I got confused even because I think there's a St. Peter's, I believe, in Jersey City also that's like an elementary school.
Oh, maybe that's.
And I've been by both. It literally Jack Mack did a really like good funny video comparing it to what like Kentucky's campus supposed to look like. Like it's literally St. Peter's is like a street in Jersey City.
Well, they certainly
It's
don't
just
play.
kind of there.
They don't play basketball like an all-Saran. I mean, they are extremely well coached. I thought that Kentucky game, from start to finish, was just fantastic. And I think a lot of the stories, but we've had a lot of good overtime games. We've not had maybe the buzzer beaters, but there have been a just slew of OT games. But St. Peter's doesn't look like a fluke to me.
No, I mean, they got Purdue next. I feel like it'll end. Jaden Ivey is just last night against Texas. He's like, you need that guard. He's only a sophomore, right? But you need that like experienced guard that can shoot. Purdue, they look pretty lights out.
No, they're very. I've been dealing with Jaden Ivey for 2 years with Ohio State. I mean, it's not even just like his athleticism. Like he's so fast, but like the confidence and effortlessness that he shoots threes with. Like he was just hitting dagger threes against Texas. I thought they were going to come back last night. I mean, they'll probably win. I think St. Peter's can give them a run, though. Like, I think 12.5 is a lot of points. Like, I'd take St. Peter's again for one more ride.
I got to just say I'm heartbroken about what happened to TCU last night against Arizona.
Yeah, so...
Come on! Go! Don't screw around! Go! Drive! Take the hold! This is not good. This is bad. This is very bad. He got fouled!
So,
Sling Sleepers. Congrats. I believe Coley had Iowa State.
Emrags, Robbie. Big Ev won with
Miami.
With Miami.
Miami was big. Believed I saw those crazy kids from Miami. They had something in their eyes.
You actually were talking about them 3-2. I'll give Ev a shout out. You've been talking about Miami on Pick Central since the beginning of ACC, saying they were one of the best teams now.
They're really good. I just knew that their guards are really athletic. Guard play just kind of wins in the tournament. Wong, he had that crazy dunk over Jabari Smith yesterday. They're a good team. I mean, now they play Iowa State. I think they legitimately can go to the Final Four. I really believe that.
I didn't watch that much college basketball this season, but I was just doing tournament prep, and I was looking through the teams. Miami, I saw McGusty. I was like, they have all these good guards scoring a ton of points. I took them to the Sweet 16 in like one of my brackets. I wish we took them in Sling Sleepers. I don't know if they were still available. I put a $20 future on the Barstool Sportsbook for them to go to the Final Four.
Oh, wow.
They were like plus 3,200, but I'm regretting like if it wins, I'll win like $600. Like I should have put like 100. I should have put like my money where my mouth is or something. Like I was gonna do a money line. I had $200 left in my Barstool Sportsbook account yesterday. I was gonna put a $200 money line, Iowa State and Miami to both win. I was like, I just got a feeling, but I was like, you know what? That's a waste of $200. Wouldn't have been a fucking waste. Would have won like $1,200. So I'm enjoying Miami because I was right about them, but I wasn't right to any significant extent. Like I was right to just sitting in myself in my room, being like, oh, I think Miami's gonna be pretty good, and doing really nothing about it.
I feel like people don't talk enough about Jim Larinaga. I mean, look,
Yeah,
George Mason. Now he's got Miami.
Yeah.
Miami's made 4 Sweet 16s in school history. He's responsible for 3 of them. The man gets it done in March, and you don't really hear his name when you think about the big name coaches.
He just looks so much like Jim Boeheim.
Yeah,
Every
he
time I
does.
see him on the sideline, I'm like, oh, Jim Boeheim. I'd say, oh, wait a minute, that's Jim Larinaga. The rest of the Big Ten, I feel like a story just outside of Michigan and Purdue, no Sweet 16 teams.
Well, no,
SEC got mauled.
should be
SEC
getting-
got mauled.
SEC as well.
They were getting hyped, and they looked. I mean, they're getting beat by
Auburn
15
goes
seeds.
down. Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean,
goes
Auburn. I
down.
mean,
Do
Miami,
they have any teams that are
They have Arkansas, and they could be out. I mean, they barely beat New Mexico State.
Yeah, they struggled against Vermont, struggled against New Mexico State. Now they got Gonzaga.
Yeah, no, the SEC, glad college baseball season's starting because this was really, really rough. Tennessee had finished so strong winning the SEC tournament, but Michigan got them on Saturday. And then you mentioned what
It's
happened to
kinda
Kentucky.
all the,
Auburn,
like-
Auburn was flaky late in the year, though. They lost a bunch of games on the road.
It's funny because kind of all the conference tournament winners all got bounced early. Like Iowa, first round. Virginia Tech, first round.
You think there's something
Tennessee,
to it where
second
it's almost
round.
like, peaking too early?
I
where
think you
it's
may
like-
run out of gas if you
right,
play 4 or
you
5
went
games.
balls to the wall to win that, which doesn't really matter. I mean, it's cool, but obviously you'd rather win a national championship.
For sure. I think Dave said it the first day. Like, I remember he said before we even started streaming, because it was funny, because I had bet Richmond just with the points the first game against Iowa, and he kind of made a comment that resonated with me where he was like, it's always the teams that you don't expect. Where it's
Right.
like people get behind these teams that win the conference tournament. It's like, oh, they're red hot, they're red
Yeah.
hot. It's always the teams that you don't expect to get upset, like a Kentucky that gets upset. Not like the sexy upset picks.
Yeah, the public underdogs,
Mm.
you die. It's a hill to die on.
Another great game, UNC versus Baylor. UNC 25-point lead, blew it to go to overtime. Brady Manek gets adjusted. That was another story. Manek.
I mean, not even just the refs.
Horrible refs. I actually think so. That was bad, and the technical foul in Illinois yesterday, Melendez, when he had that
when
dunk.
he hung on the
I was
yeah.
on Houston and I was like, oh my god, that just it's
This is
abysmal.
maybe the worst call I've ever.
I mean, it's been all. I mean, if you're like a big college basketball fan, it's no like surprise. It's nothing new. Like it's been like that all year. Now it's just on a much larger scale. I mean, I think the biggest thing is the charge block call is just like it just ruined the game. It's ruined like just the way like the game flow. I don't know. The refs are just bad. They're just really, really bad. This is something that's been said forever too. Like they need to be held accountable. Like I need a ref press conference.
No, I agree.
Why did they get to just make mistakes and just not have to answer to any of them? Like you fucked up. You're a grown man.
Fine.
Like, answer to it.
Something if they're bad, you have
Like,
there has to be consequences to their actions.
if a quarterback plays bad in the game or like a point guard, he plays bad in this game, he's the best player, he's got to go sit on a podium and answer questions. Like, why does a ref, he's like 45, 50 years old, why does he get to just blatantly fuck up, potentially like ruin a game where these kids have spent all season their lives leading up to this point? They get to fuck it up and just like go home like nothing happened. It's crazy to me. It just makes no sense.
It's absurd. I mean, you have it ruins kids' lot. Like for a lot of these guys, their last basketball game, they're really gonna ever play at like a meaningful level, and have it come down to just some guy making a bad call.
Yeah, like I need
Still
like
ruined from the 2018 NFC Championship game.
like the ref who called this tech on Illinois, like he should have at least go on the podium and be like hand up, like shouldn't have called it.
I mean, at the very least, should never work another NCAA tournament game.
It's just so bad. Like some of like that's an egregious one. There was a few other ones too. I mean, even like the ending sequence for TCU, you can argue like like he flopped or he like stepped, he like did a over and back. But I mean, like like you've got to make a call, like something like.
It's
You
hard to
don't
know
have to
because
make that call.
TBS didn't show a replay, so it was like hard to know.
Right, there's a lot of bad calls, but it's like, all right, it's the spur of the moment. There's contact. You got to call something. The technical, nobody was being affected by him hanging on the rim for an extra half a second, and I don't think it was showboating. He really just.
I mean, he
was gonna
came
fall.
in hot.
Right,
he
doing
came
it
in
to
like
save
running
himself.
full speed. Like he had to like if he had just let go on the swing, he would have fallen on his head.
The play at the end last night, Arizona, TCU.
I'm still just that one's tough, man.
tough.
Tough one. Could feel that $333. And
That's
all
I
y'all
was,
that
I was selfishly rooting
course.
against. My prize pile would be heavier.
Yeah, you make $800 or $900 more bucks.
I had a large wager on TCU plus 10, so that was nice. But I was definitely wishing on your demise, Mincy. Unfortunately,
It's okay if it's
for the prize.
Yeah, I think
pool of the
It's all business, not personal.
So KB and Nick have St. Peter's. I think he was under the impression he was winning $25K no matter what. He said that Saturday he was out buying shots, going crazy at the club, and now he realizes it's down to like 5K.
Yeah, I think there's 10 of us total. So yeah.
Right. So I don't know, how it gets probably just split up 5K pre-tax. Maybe KB might end up being in debt from the weekend, actually.
One thing I want to mention before we're off the NCAA tourney, now that Michigan's made the Sweet 16 and the Final Four being in New Orleans and we're going, it'd be pretty damn cool if Michigan made it with Dave. That would be a pretty.
Nah,
Not so much.
nah. I don't think that'd be that cool.
Okay, well.
That's just me, though. I don't know. I don't know.
What,
Fair enough. And then Duke, obviously. I mean, I
I was gonna say,
thought
Coach
Duke.
K staying
He got
on
pushed to the brink yesterday until about a minute
They
or two
should have
left.
fucking lost.
Yeah.
So are either of you big time Duke haters, Coach K haters?
Marty's made me become one. I wasn't one, and then now being good friends with Marty, now I am.
But is there a part of you that isn't ready to lose Coach K yet?
Oh no, I'm ready for him to be like just.
But I
gone.
feel like
it's been forever.
fun to keep rooting against him.
Nah, because then the
Like
farther
the Yankees used to be.
no, because then the farther they get in, they at least can be like, oh, like we made
We
it
made a good
X far. Like
run.
them losing in the round of 32 to Tom Izzo would have been perfect.
I think they're
round of 32 exit would have been beautiful.
I think they might go to the Final Four. They're
Texas,
They
I think
had
it's
a-
a tough matchup.
but
for them.
that's
I think it's a
another
tough one.
That's another like public well, I think Texas is actually
They're
favored
1
by
point
a point.
favorite, yeah.
But everybody's like, oh, Texas Tech, that's the team that's going to beat Duke. Like, watch out for that Sweet 16. They're the team. Their defense, they didn't look great against Notre Dame.
No.
They don't look good. They play great defense. They struggle on offense a lot. So I could see like a lot of games where, like in the game against Oklahoma in the Big 12 tournament, they look so bad in the second half. But they really do have they're very deep. Like they got a lot of guys. But
I could see this being a tournament game where like talent just wins out. It's like don't overthink it. Like Duke just has the top recruits. Texas Tech has good defense. I think Duke is going to
Duke's defense fucking stinks. Their offense is great. They got a lot of guys, obviously, but God, I want them to lose.
Revised Final Four picks. If you had to pick who's coming out now with the Sweet 16, I'd probably go Duke, Purdue.
Purdue, that bracket's Purdue, St. Peter's, Miami, and Iowa State. That's a wild bracket. Purdue.
No. Kansas.
No.
Kansas,
Sorry.
Providence.
Sorry.
Miami,
Yep.
Iowa State. So I'd go Duke, Purdue. Nova is such a, and that must have been crushing for you as Ohio State. Like they're just a not fun team to root against.
It was weird because listen, they were. I mean, Villanova's the better team, the more consistent team.
They're just so.
It was tough because I felt like Ohio State really had a chance. They cut it to 2 at one point after they were down 15, almost 20 points. When Liddell missed the front end of that 1-on-1, that kind of felt like the dagger. Like I thought they were going to get it back to 3, going to be in a 1-possession game with a couple of minutes left. But they're just Mr. Consistent. Like they just any game they're in, again, especially with these good teams, it's going to be a down to the wire game. Like I'm sure Michigan Villanova is going to be a 2-3 point game.
They're not going to beat themselves.
No, for sure not.
Guard play is always really.
That's the thing. Gillespie, you just can rely on him as much as probably anybody left in the tournament.
So I'll go Duke, Purdue, Nova, Kansas, like that. Providence, credit to Providence. Everyone doubted them all year long, right? The analytics
Good
didn't
draw.
like them.
They had a good draw too. They're beating the crap out of people though. You got to give them the credit.
And then Miami, Iowa State, one of them going to Elite 8. But what would you guys say? Revised Final Four.
I'm going Arizona. I think Arizona is really good. I think that they got pushed to the brink last night, but I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna make it. I'll say Purdue, Arizona, Kansas has such a good draw. I mean, they're known for choking in the tourney, but all right. So Purdue, Arizona, Kansas. That fourth one's tough. I'll say Texas. Come back to me on the fourth one.
So the one I'm going to say UCLA. I just don't trust. They're in Purdue's one, I believe.
Yeah.
I just don't trust Purdue's defense. So I'll say
I think
UCLA.
they could lose to UNC though. UNC.
For sure. UNC's hot right now. I mean, they're definitely riding the hot hand.
The thing with UNC's ceiling, they are the most volatile. I mean, they can beat anyone and lose to anyone, but they're dangerous as hell.
Then the team that I think no one's talking about who really, something just clicked in my brain yesterday, how good they were. I've been fading them. Houston's really fucking
Yeah.
I think they're going to beat Arizona.
That line, you see Arizona's like a 2-point favorite?
I think they're going to beat Arizona. I'm going to say Houston out of that one. I'm going to say Kansas, even though I think Miami's going to give them a run for their money. I'll say Kansas. They're my national championship pick from the beginning. And I'll say Texas Tech. I've been believing them all year, too, so I'll say that's the four.
We'll see. Starts Thursday. Sling Sleepers, congrats on the money. And
Thank you.
Keep betting on the Barstool Sportsbook. All right, NFL. So this happened over the weekend, but Deshaun Watson heading to Cleveland, $230 million contract, fully guaranteed, largest NFL history, and Matt Ryan heading to Indy. So just continuing the AFC is just loaded.
The Watson thing, I was following really close because New Orleans was so tied in with them, and I was conflicted all week because, look, I'm not up here to morally judge America or any of that. That's not my job. So as a football player, I damn sure wanted him on the Saints. I mean, he would have been so dangerous to Mike Thomas and Kamara, and the Saints are win now mode, but then there would have been a huge backlash. I'm happy at least he didn't go to Atlanta or Carolina. If he's not going to go to the Saints, at least he didn't go to the division. What was interesting to me was he said Cleveland's out, and then they offered him this 5 and 230, and then he went.
That'd probably pull me back in.
No, exactly. Yeah, just when they thought he was out, the Cleveland pulled him back in with the offer, but it just, bottom line, it was about the money. I mean, that's what it was about.
They also do. They have the most. Well, I guess them and the Saints, but they have a great roster, Cleveland.
Yeah, they do.
Good defense, running game.
Great
offensive line. O-line being good is a big thing.
So it made sense from a football perspective too. I mean, like you said, you could play the moral game too, but I think if you're a Browns fan, you're probably like, wow, we just got to really.
I heard there were a bunch of signs on Kevin Stefanski's yard and stuff. There's some backlash.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to deal with that. I mean. Yeah, I guess for the sake of this segment, we're moving the art from the artist, however you want to say it. But I mean, 230 fully guaranteed is like unprecedented. Like people have been giving like Kirk Cousins his business flowers for signing these like 3-year 90 guarantee, like another 1 year like 30 guaranteed, like 5 years of 230 guaranteed money is. I mean, that's an MLB contract. It's a real MLB contract in the NFL.
It's $46 million a year. And if you break that down, divided by 16 starts, I mean, he's literally almost making $3 million every game he starts.
Yes. Unbelievable.
I mean, that's pretty damn wild.
And now Baker Mayfield will get his trade request that he asked for. He wanted to go to Indy.
No one wants him.
Not happening.
Texans didn't want him.
That was the only place left.
The most recent I saw was Carolina.
That would make sense.
I guess I know we're obviously going to talk about Matt Ryan after this. Honestly, I think
Saints just re-signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year deal.
I mean, it makes sense. I like Jameis.
You like that?
I do.
Is there a little part of you that's like you were in on all these other big quarterbacks? Well,
man, if they didn't get Deshaun Watson, I wanted Jameis back.
Okay.
I 100% because, look, I mean, the Saints were 5-2 when he started last year. Mike Thomas hopefully coming back this year. It's just hard to be like, oh, let's draft the quarterback. Man, the NFL, you don't know how these guys are going to do, even if they're first-round picks. You got no idea. I didn't want Baker Mayfield. At this point, if we weren't going to have Watson, I wanted Jameis Winston, so I'm happy. Plus, in my heart, I love pulling for Jameis, just like a lot of Barstool does.
He's fun to root for.
I hit, in 2013, I had Florida State for $200 at 33-1 when they won it all, with Jameis' redshirt freshman year when he won the Heisman. So since then, it's a soft spot. So I'm happy about it.
Baker to Cleveland, or to Carolina can't scare you either as a rival, if that happens.
No. I mean, they just tried on Sam Darnold and missed. It almost feels like part two of that.
I don't like Baker, but he's better than Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and honestly, just going with the Matt Ryan trade, he went to Indy for a third rounder. I think Carolina gave him a second, fourth, and sixth for Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's
so to me, like
I guess the money too.
For sure, no, 100%. See, I tweeted that I thought that Matt Ryan for Indy was a good move. I was seeing some pushback
Similar to
on that.
Phillip Rivers, but he's just young. He's probably
a little younger. I think he's got a little more arm left in him than Rivers had. See, I just see it because I got some backlash too that I thought the Wentz move to Washington wasn't as bad as people were saying. And for me, it's more about just where your team was at. Like you upgraded, like Matt Ryan. Like I think you just upgraded from Wentz. Like you have a quarterback with I think similar upside that's less turnover prone. Like I just think that's you can trust him more. And when you have a team with a great offensive line, run game, good defense, like I think that's a win for you. I think the team got better, so I think it's a good move.
It also just the leadership part. It seemed like there was a lot of hating on Wentz's leadership in that locker room. And Ryan, veteran, established guy, you've got a good O-line, you've got a good defense. He's used to playing in domes. I mean, it makes sense. But every time, let's look back at this Colts thing. What is this, their fourth or fifth year in a row with a new quarterback? When Luck retired, they had Jacoby Brissett. We saw Rivers. We saw Wentz. Now we see Matt Ryan. It just makes me think, man, what would happen if Luck hadn't retired?
Like, all the other pieces are there. Like, how often in the NFL are you going to get a core that, like I said, good defense, great running game, they have weapons, they just need a quarterback.
It's going to be interesting to see if they reunite Julio with him.
And also, the AFC is an arms race right now, but they could win the AFC South. I mean, obviously the Texans and Jags aren't. The Titans, it'll be them or the Titans.
Still, yeah.
I know that obviously they basically were a blown game against Jacksonville for making the playoffs last year. Like, I think, barring injuries, like a Matt Ryan-led this Colts team, I think will be a playoff team.
I think they're better than the Titans.
That I don't know if I'll say.
I think
the Titans
I don't think
are good.
the South is sending two teams to the playoffs. The South is a one.
With three, even with three wild cards,
so loaded, and the North.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Watson.
Points.
Now
West
with
is definitely
Cleveland.
Yeah, the North. It's
the Bengals, the Ravens are going to be
the
back
North
in the
thing.
mix.
It's so crazy because forever we brought this up on Pick Central. Roethlisberger was the only quarterback in that division for like 15 years, and now Joe Burrow, you got Watson, and you got Lamar Jackson, and Pittsburgh doesn't know what they're. It's just crazy to see how it cycles.
Yeah, but we'll see. And then the other NFL story, Urban Meyer. I can't get enough Urban Meyer stories. It's also funny just how incompetent, what a horrible human being he is. He's reportedly unaware of star players like Aaron Donald, Jamal Adams, Deebo Samuel, who's this 99 guy on the Rams. I'm hearing he might be a problem for
Surely
us.
that was a joke. Surely.
I don't know. The article goes in like he also was just a dick to John Brown or something. It was like these guys from the South, their transcripts aren't too good. It just seems like a truly horrible person.
I would like to say, on behalf of Ohio State, I'd like to thank Urban Meyer for being so committed to Ohio State that he literally doesn't even know star NFL players.
So
none of them were in the Big Ten.
He is that committed to Big Ten football and college football that he was busy winning national titles, competing for national titles, that he literally didn't have a clue. Honestly, what I think this ended up being, we didn't realize it in the moment. I think what Jacksonville did was the same thing the Knicks did with Phil Jackson, where I think he didn't even really want to coach, and they just threw so much money at him. He's like, sure, I'll coach. And if and Urban Meyer's going to coach, he's going to do it his way. And his way just clearly had zero fit for the NFL. In college, you're just the guy. In the NFL, there's 10 guys in that roster that are more valuable to the team than you are.
Yeah, he was apparently saying, you know what happens if I cut you guys? You couldn't get a job paying you more than $15.
That's the meat, dude. That's to me.
These are adults grown.
These are adults.
That's a tough. I mean, it's. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they could find an occupation that would pay more than that.
Yeah, there's no way he gets another job.
That's stereotyping.
That's just shit. Yeah, that's just shit you say in like your high school coach says to you when he's chewing you out.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure the legal minimum wage is 15 an hour, right? So they would be able probably to get at least.
Yeah. No, I said, hey, hands up. I'm sure they could. I'm sure they could find different places of.
I will say, good situation. Doug Peterson, former Eagles Super Bowl coach, Pride of Monroe, Louisiana, taking over in Jacksonville. In a great situation to turn that around, because what do they always say in sports? You never want to follow a legend. You always want to follow a disaster.
Right.
Because the expectations are down. It can't get worse. And he's already won a Super Bowl. I think him and Trevor Lawrence, they made some good signings. It ain't going to get any worse than it did last year.
That's like in high school or college, whenever we did, you have to do a presentation or something, I'd always volunteer to go after someone bombed. After someone was just so bad or so nervous up there, I'd be like, all right, I guess I'll go now. Exactly. It's it can't look any worse than they just.
No, that's like a fact just in general in life. You never, ever want to follow a legend. You just always want to follow somebody that's mediocre or worse.
I think this is going to really set back college coaches to the NFL. I mean, I was thinking about there's really not a lot of success. And it does sort of make sense that a guy who is so invested in college football, spending a bunch of time, all his months, all his days focused on the sport of college football, he's probably not paying as much attention to the NFL. He's not as familiar. You should know fucking Aaron Donald is, but he's probably not as familiar with all the ins and outs of how other systems work, different teams, different depth charts.
I mean, when you're just recruiting at that elite level, recruiting is 24/7.
Right.
You're just that's even they make jokes about during the election, asking Saban and him being I don't even know who the president is.
Right.
Obviously, I'm sure he could tell you who the president is, but these guys know nothing besides the football team that they are focusing on coaching. That is it. It wouldn't shock me if he didn't know NFL players that have developed over the last 5-6 years, because he spent that entire time, he was just nose deep in college football.
Yeah, in the college, it's about that talent edge. In Ohio State, I mean, they obviously have as much talent as anybody in the country. And you get in the NFL.
You don't get that talent edge.
No, the NFL, it's about the X's and O's because the edges are so small. Yeah, he really got exposed.
It's a different game when you're just used to having, it's harder to play when you don't just have, the more talented players.
Next up, this is a non-story. Yankees U.S. Appeals Court ordered the unsealing of a Yankees infamous letter that allegedly shows a sign stealing scandal. Not real. It was, you looked into it. It's 2015. They did this. They did that. It's not a real story. Next up, we have Jusuf Nurkic takes a fan phone, throws it because he called him trash. I like this. I like when athletes go back at fans. Like I'm pro fans talking shit to athletes, but I'm also pro those athletes going right back at them.
So my thing is, if he has the phone up to you, the second he calls you trash, I think then like you deserve to get your phone thrown.
Right.
If you looked him dead in his eye and called him trash, like
Look,
you can't be like, oh, why'd you
that
throw
man
my phone?
Trash as he walks towards you.
Like when you're just like having the camera like just in his chest, like right there, like fuck you.
But like KD, like last week, that video Big Cat tweeted, I think, like a fan was like, KD, you got to take over. And KD's like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah.
I like when, and it happens most in the NBA because it's the closest fans are to the court. But
also, this fan's not that much shorter than him.
What?
He's not that much taller.
I mean,
he's probably on elevated
Are we calling
ground.
not that much taller, like 7-8 inches?
This guy's got to be like 6'3".
So he's probably like 6'1", 6'2", and
he
like
looks
6'10".
like nothing next to him. He also could be down. Like I don't know. You know, he could.
I'm gonna say if they stood like if they legit measurements, I'm gonna say 8 or 9 inches taller.
Probably. I mean, still not close enough to take him on.
No, he'd get killed. Look at that shrimp.
Yeah.
I think
This guy's huge.
one thing, and I guess we get this because we're public figures because of Barstool, but like these athletes, everyone thinks, oh, I can say whatever and talk whatever to them because they make millions of dollars. They're people too.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure y'all get it too. Like the stuff we get said about us, it's, you know, it's everybody deals with it differently. You know, I mean, I just kind of chuckle and laugh when people call me.
Have you ever had anyone harass you to your face?
I mean, a little. Like the worst somebody's done. I got called. Somebody said, "Oh, he has fetal alcohol syndrome" one time, which I just started laughing. I was like, "Man."
To you in person?
Oh no, that was just Twitter.
No, I'm saying in person.
No, in person, it's. I've noticed.
People are 1,000 times.
No, exactly. Like I actually thought when I went to Omaha for College World Series last year, it was like nothing but Mississippi State fans. I was like, man, this is gonna be really rough, and like they couldn't have been nicer. But when they're behind those keyboards. Man, those keyboard warriors, they'll say anything at any time. And it's just a funny dynamic.
So this here says there's an Instagram comment from the security guard, and he says the fan was just talking to him during the fourth quarter, told Nurkic he was trash a few times from across the court, and that was it. He came in and did this right after the game. Petty. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I only had like one. It was actually this year after we did Notre Dame, Wisconsin college football show, and it was after the game where I do like the jersey reveal, my pick at the end. So the only thing I had left to wear was I was just wearing a J.J. Watt jersey. So I kind of just had to like wear that the rest of the day. And when I was like on the way back from the stadium, a Notre Dame fan came up to me and was like, "Oh, like Big Ev, like let me take a picture." And I was like, "Sure, like go take a selfie." And he's like, "Fuck you, like we just kicked your fucking ass," like talking shit. And I kind of just like. I think a few years ago me might have did something like I probably shouldn't have done, but I kind of just either like slapped him or something, or just like slapped the phone or whatever. But I kind of just like looked at him and was just like, all right, bro, because like I'm not even a Wisconsin fan, like I don't even care.
Yeah,
that's like a.
You're in a no-win situation.
I just was like, what? All right, bro. Like,
there's videos with like I think there's like a famous video with Bernie Sanders where some guy goes up to him trying to take a picture and is like, "Bernie, you're a fucking idiot" or something. That's basically that.
That's pretty much what he did.
You got Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, he pretty much was just like, "Fuck you," like we just kicked your ass, and I was like, all right, man, like I'm not even a Wisconsin fan. I was like, whatever.
All right, post-show. I got a few things here for the post-show. We'll start with Ohio State versus Rico Bosco and Marty, apparently.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So I guess on stream this weekend, Rico was listing the heavy hitters at the company that he lists as above him. Ohio State, Barstool Ange, Banksy on a good day.
Red Rhino.
Ready for the
hierarchy? Dave, egomaniac, definitely at the top. Dan Dakich. Anybody in the Hamptons. That guy, Red Rhino, Ange. That guy. Ohio State, and then me.
And so Ohio State was like, he wrote this blog where he's like, look, at first I ignored it. He took a couple shots at me. I DM'd him, he didn't respond. And he's like, but he came back again and is talking shit about me costing, the company money or something. And he's like, I don't barely make any money. So he went at Rico hard in the blog. Then he went at Marty because To be fair to Marty, I think there was a misunderstanding here. I think that
so
in the
as well.
clip, Rico had been listing Ohio State in that list, and he just forgot him in one clip, and Marty was like, Ohio State.
Marty kind of just,
too.
kind of just said the word he was
set him up
forgetting.
for like the alley-oop, and then I think Marty was laughing like, hey, he hasn't been here in 4 years. Why are you talking shit about him? And I think Ohio State took that as a dig where it's like, well, I haven't been here in 4 years because I work remotely part-time in Ohio. So then Marty got into it. He's going back with teachers. And I mean, it's just, it's a great.
Oh, Marty. Coming back.
Yeah, so Ohio State said something about how Marty, something fake gambling during Barstool Idol, and then Marty said, remember when you were too scared to finish the competition and cry when you had to be on camera, you sucked and had to blog, just stop crying, you little bitch. So I just love drama. I just love that this is
I know.
happening.
I can't wait to see your analysis.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I think there was maybe a little bit of a misunderstanding on the part with Marty, but I texted Marty. I was like, Marty, you being in a real Twitter beef with Ohio State is just funny. I just find that
two
funny.
Barstool Idol contestants.
Yeah.
You know, I felt bad because we talked about before. I agree that I think Marty kind of got misinterpreted.
Got
like he wasn't-
ricocheted here a little bit.
I don't think he meant it like the 4 years comment. I don't think that was shade at him. I think that was literally him saying, Rico, you're crazy. Talk about this dude who, like, we haven't even seen the guy in 4 years, and you're just, like, bringing his name up unsolicited. Listen, I'm a rider, but Rico, I always give it to Rico straight. Like, you can't throw stones, and then when they get thrown back, you're like, what the fuck? Like,
Right, no.
You can't just take unsolicited shots at people, and then when they talk shit back, you're like, oh, like, you're, like, they're the bad guy. Like,
I don't think
when you, like, once you open that floodgate to me, like, everything goes after that. Like, you open that door.
Even Rico would admit, I think he would admit that Ohio State like had a right to write this blog.
That's where Rico, I don't know if he'll admit that.
Like if you're Ohio State, you're part-time in Ohio, like he's not in the mix that much. This is like a layup of a blog for him. It was like pretty well written.
I mean, no, he did a great job with the blog. Like, I mean, it was, like I said, Rico opened Pandora's box, and he didn't
Right.
like. And
if you're Ohio State, you're like, hey, this is my opportunity to get in the mix here. And he took
especially with
advantage.
him tweeting at him and like what I know, like I was like at least I was around him, so I understood the joke where he's like sending literally like condescending tweets at him, being like, hey, like let's have a great tournament. Where
Right.
like, because I don't know, I'm just not a big condescending is kind of like my pet peeve. So like once you get condescending towards somebody, I think you kind of deserve to get smoked. So like I mean, he got smoked, and I'm sure he's not happy about it, but Rico, I love you. I mean, you deserved it. Like, you can't just talk shit about people and then just expect them to just, like, roll over for you. Like, that's not how life works. He fought back. And Marty, that was, I think, unfortunate that he threw the glorified babysitter teacher shot. That's always, you just opened a war on teachers.
Good luck with teacher
Yeah,
Twitter.
that's what I'm saying. You just opened a war on teacher Twitter that I doubt he wanted, but it's here now. I don't
It's
think
going to be a long day. They're upset.
that's tough. It just goes like that sometimes. But yeah, sometimes I don't know. Twitter's a weird word. You get in a little beef. You make a comment that you expect to be a shot at one guy, and all of a sudden you just open. There's got to be
Right.
millions of teachers in America, or hundreds of thousands.
And I think Marty was like, I don't know even know how I got involved here. He's like, this is what I get for like being friends with Rico or something.
I think with Rico, it's like with him and his mind. I mean, you're either his guy or you're completely not. He's not
Right,
on the.
with
He's
him.
not now. He's not down the middle on anybody. He's not. There's no. He's whatever. He's either like that guy's part of the talent. That guy's not in his mind, and it's very black and white in his head.
Ohio
I'm a
State
Rico
is
fan.
not on his good side, to be clear.
No.
No, but it's just tough because Ohio State didn't do anything to him. Like
nothing.
He's hanging out in Ohio just writing his blogs, and then but that's why I love Rico, but like he puts me in the spot. I can't defend him on this because this dude is literally sitting minding his own business, writing blogs, being a 7th grade teacher, like just doing his own thing. Like
He said he
not
was
bothering,
chaperoning
like
a middle school dance on
he's
Saturday.
not bothering anybody. He's living his own life. He's doing a good job blogging, and then some random guy that he said like in the blog they've never met starts like literally talking shit about you and just like making condescending tweets at you, condescending comments. Like then, like he threw an absolute haymaker right back, and it might be a knockout blow. Like I don't like what do you want the guy to do? Like Rico wants to just talk shit and then you just roll over and die.
But it's also like this is what makes Rico Rico.
Absolutely.
Like,
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna come from this being like, oh, like you know what, like I walked into that. His mindset is gonna be like, fuck Ohio State for life.
I want Rico taking these unprompted chants because I think it's funny, but then I also think it's good that Ohio State fights back. Like you could have
For
both.
sure, you have to.
both.
Like if you're Ohio
The
State,
more,
like,
the
you
more
have
chaos, the more drama, the more hate, the better. That's basically my take.
to. Yeah, I don't disagree for sure. I like it.
Robbie, you want to come over? Patty the Batty. Robbie was in London with Patty the Batty and Meatball Molly. Both had wins.
Patty
Robbie was in the crowd.
Batty. Oh,
You guys won your spinning back fist parlay for the third time in a row.
Third time in a row, up 13 units.
Plus 530 this week. It's crazy. And we're going to have Patty and Meatball Molly on the Spinning Back Fist recap today.
Nice.
It'll be out
Let's
either
go.
late tonight or early tomorrow.
And where can we find that?
On the My Mom's Basement YouTube, Spinning Back Fist social media. We'll blog it, of course. But yeah, it was great.
And on
Got the
podcast
win.
form now.
Oh, yeah, it's on
All
podcast.
the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that
So
stuff.
check that out if you want to win some money.
Yup.
Yeah.
And it was a great card. UFC London, best card of the year, I would say, Ev.
For sure. I would say without question.
Meatball
Unbelievable
Molly with
action.
a fucking spinning back elbow. She
Knockout
was
of the
going
year.
crazy.
Knockout of the
yeah.
year.
Amazing. She
And-
was at the after party sending Dave videos saying, "Give me $1 million, Dave."
Oh, shut up. That's incredible.
Yeah, he said he's going to probably sign her if she wins, right?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to get the package, the UFC Tag Team Champions of the world.
And is there any talk on what Patty's next fight will be?
No, not yet. He said he's gonna come to America and get fat for a while again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He's
I probably
awesome
would
when he
too.
gets fat.
He loves getting.
He really, obviously all these guys cut weight. He really he's like 200, 155, 200, 155.
He looks like a different person, but he's the best. His whole camp. They're great people, and it was just great getting the win. UFC London was fucking awesome overall. And the videos from the bar looked awesome too, of everyone reacting to that. Like,
Yeah.
tap out, Spider going crazy, jumping all over
The
everybody.
Spider's like, he's like tapping for him.
You said that you haven't really heard a place shake like that, right?
No,
When you won?
his winning reaction was bigger than any UFC reaction I've ever heard.
Wow.
I've seen, Connor win. I've seen Weidman win on Long Island. This was like another beast. His walkout was the most like electric rave I've ever been to. Look at him dancing.
Well, that's even what I was gonna say. Even just from a fan perspective, sitting on the couch, like watching the stream of it, like I don't think I've ever heard a pop like that for an intro. Like when he just came out, the entire place went crazy, like way crazier than the main event. Like bigger, like guys who are higher up in the rankings. Like when that music dropped and Patty the Batty came out, the place just went went crazy through even just the speakers. It was
He's a
nuts,
superstar.
like
Superstar.
Absolutely
Legit
nuts.
Superstar. It was awesome.
We got in early too.
Yeah.
Well, like buying Apple stock, like in the 90s, it feels like.
he's gonna punch
congrats
Mark
to Patty the Batty,
Zuckerberg's
and
fucking head in.
Shout out Patty and
Check out
Meatball Molly.
Spinning Back Fist this week.
Yeah.
And we'll end Mincy Tour, round 2.
Yeah, well, so that was kind of
Or
like
1.5.
Yeah, so the 23-day was like the tour, and this was like a quick little run. Just had a little
Run it back.
4 dates. But man, it was a big time. Big shout out to LeBear's Lake Charles Penn Property. Opened a spectacular Barstool Sports book last Monday. Megan was there cutting the ribbon. Last year I went to Maristar Blackhawk in Colorado for March Madness. This year I went to LeBear's Lake Charles, and man, they do everything right in there. I just am so impressed by just the property, everything from the restaurants to the video. You see the video of me in the lazy river with the pink flamingo. I mean, they do everything on a high level there. A lot of Houston people come over from there. It's about an hour and a half from Houston, so it's really kind of a lot of that Texas money comes through there. But I couldn't have been nicer hosts. We had the Super Bowl down there, and then I got to go back and had a blast. And then I just want to say, you always think about like Chicago and Boston and the great St. Patty's Day parades in the U.S. I'm not sure Baton Rouge is quite on that level, but man, they throw the hell down in there. They had 250,000 people. The Wearing of the Green parade on Saturday in Baton Rouge. Nelly was riding in it. I went to a party after that had Nelly and Manny Fresh and Flo Rida. Me and Megan got to ride on the walk-ons float. Did a fun video of me riding by Playboy Marty and I's old house. All right, we're about to pass Playboy Marty and I's old house. We lived 1431 South Eugene. We lived here for 3 months after we got hired by ESPN Baton Rouge in 2020. That is why the famous Lane Kiffin Hottie Toddy video. The Hottie Toddy video that got me hired after Ole Miss, Kentucky, right there by that front door. So we're gonna throw a bunch of Barstool Sports books. And the old house right there was how I got hired by Barstool in that front room. Stomping around the old neighborhood, baby, in Baton Rouge. On the parade route where I did the Hottie Toddy, the video that got me to Barstool, and on the video I threw a ton of koozies, at the house on principle.
Nice.
But it's just, I'll just say it. I tweeted this to Dave the other day because he was retweeting me a bunch. I mean, I was the number 2 guy on the number 4 radio show in ESPN Baton Rouge when I got hired up here. And 17 months later,
They
get to
got
go
a
back.
world tour.
Yeah, go back and just the reception I get in Baton Rouge. It's just, it's very overwhelming in a super positive way. And I love working for Dave. Like, he knows, I told Dave, I re-signed last November for a year through December. And I said to Dave, I said, it is on this year when the Louisiana app launches. I'm like, trust me, I'm going to prove to you why you're making the right decision. And I'm trying to leave
Promises made, promises
Yeah,
kept.
no stone unturned, though, man. I'm trying to hit every.
What's next? Is there a Mincy Tour 3?
Yeah. So, well, the biggest thing, everything. So the app launched the week before the conference championship games in football. Everything I've built up has been leading to the New Orleans Final Four weekend, and we're, a bunch
What
of.
a tease.
Yeah, everything's been built.
Couple weeks.
No, it's coming up. And that New Orleans Final Four weekend, they're doing Barstool Radio Friday and Monday. I'm not going to announce where it is because I don't know if it's been announced yet, but place I'm very familiar with. And then the Friday and Saturday, we're putting the first ever Barstool team in Hogs for the Cause. I'm trying to raise $100,000 for families fighting pediatric brain cancer. That's my goal. We got world-class pit masters. It's going to be a huge barbecue music fest. That New Orleans Final Four weekend is freaking going down. I'm telling y'all, everything's building to that. So I'm already, I'm going to be going down there like next Monday or Tuesday, just helping set up for Hogs all week. We got 21 people on this team. It's a large undertaking that we're going to completely crush.
All right, be on the lookout for that. Download the Barstool Sportsbook, and
releasing Hog shirts too. Team Portnoy shirts coming out. All the money goes toward our fundraising. Be on the lookout for those tomorrow, and please buy them.
See you tomorrow.